Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 9. Texts 9 through 11? Chapter 7? Oh, gee, I made a whole... Oh, I'm just joking. But I got the verses right. 9 to 11, right? So, which verse is on the board? 11 is on the board. Okay, so I'll chant the first two verses, and then the third verse we'll chant together. Is it all right? Do we have time? Okay. Tam utitam bhikshakalachalam puna samudjata nir matitum surasuraha dadada prishtena salaksha yojana prastarina dvipa ivaparo mahan. When the demigods and demons saw that Mandara mountain had been lifted, they were enlivened and encouraged to begin churning again. The mountain rested on the back of the great tortoise, which extended for 800,000 miles, like a large island. Text 10. Sudha Sudendrayar Bhujabir Yabepitam Paribramantam Gidam Anga Prishtataha Bibratadavran Nanam Adi Kachchapo Meningan Kandu Yanam Aprameyaha. O King, when the demigods and demons, by the strength of their arms, rotated Mandara mountain on the back of the extraordinary tortoise, the tortoise accepted the rolling of the mountain as a means of scratching his body, and thus he felt a pleasing sensation. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always the unlimited. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his body as a tortoise, held on his back the largest of mountains, Mandara Parvata, he did not feel any inconvenience. On the contrary, he apparently felt some itching, and thus the rotation of the mountain was certainly very pleasing. So they did some service, right? Service means to please the senses of the Lord, right? Without pleasing the senses of the Lord, how do you know if what you're doing is proper or not? Text 11. Tetasudan avishit asurena rupena tesham balabiryam irayan Udipayan Devaganangscha Vishnur Daivena Nagendra Mabodha Rupaha Tata. Thereafter, Asuran, unto the demons, Avishat, entered, Asurena, by the quality of passion, Rupena, in such a form, Tesham, of them, Balabiryam, strength and energy, Iryan, increasing, Udipayan, encouraging, Devaganan, the demigods, Cha, also, Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Daivena, by the feature of goodness, Naga Indram, under the king of the serpents, Vasuki, Abodharupaha, by the quality of ignorance. Translation. Thereafter, Lord Vishnu entered the demons as the quality of passion, the demigods as the quality of goodness, and Vasuki as the quality of ignorance, to encourage them and increase their various types of strength and energy. Purport. Everyone in this material world is under the different modes of material nature. There were 3 different parties in the churning of Mandara mountain. The demigods, who were in the mode of goodness, the demons, who were in the mode of passion, and the snake Vasuki, who was in the mode of ignorance. Since they were all becoming tired, Vasuki so much so that he was almost going to die, Lord Vishnu, to encourage them to continue the work of churning the ocean, entered into them according to their respective modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutade Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadate Swapadantikam Mukkam Karurivachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shiganun Dinatadanam Namashreshtamanum Apisati Putram Atrasurupam Rupam Tasyagrajim Urupurim Maturim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivadamaho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripiyo Shigadun Tannatosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganathan Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti-vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatcha Deshatarane Namo Mahavaranyaya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Antai Madalabala Haridasya Varyo Yad Rama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayosta Yoryat Paniya Suyavasakanda Nakanda Mulahai Matsamo Nasti Papatma Napadadi Nakaschana Pari Hare Pilajjame Kim Bruve Purushottama Yuvatinam Tata Yuni Yunam Cha Yavatau Yata Mano Bidabate Tadvam Mano Me Ramatam Twayi Bhumau skalitupadanam bhumireva balambanam tuyi jata padadanam twameva sharanam prabho Govinda Vallabhe Radhe Parartye Tamaham Sada Tudiyam Iti Janatu Govindo Mam Tvaya Saha Radhe Vrindavanadishe Karuna Mritavahini Kripaya Tavapadabja Dasyam Mayam Pradiyatam. Thereafter, Lord Vishnu entered the demons as the quality of passion, the demigods as the quality of goodness, and Vasuki as the quality of ignorance, to encourage them and increase their various types of strength and energy. Well, I guess it's pretty clear who's doing it here, who's doing things here. This is one of the most interesting pastimes of Krishna in the whole Bhagavatam, in the sense that he participates in it in different forms and different ways all the way through. Here in the purport, it's described that everyone is under the modes of material nature. No one is purely in any good mode of good nature in this material world. But still, different modes are prominent in different persons. In the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna that these modes of nature are constantly vying for supremacy. They're constantly changing, in flux. Sometimes the mode of goodness will dominate the other two. Sometimes the mode of passion will dominate goodness and ignorance. And sometimes good ignorance will dominate goodness and passion. In this way, the soul, who is not made of the modes of nature at all, is being tossed around, basically, by an ocean made up of these three modes of material nature. And if you remember the beginning of the story, or the beginning of this pastime, the modes changed, and the demons became very strong, and the demigods became very weak. And therefore, not knowing what to do, everyone in this material world is bewildered from time to time, even the most exalted persons. Prabhupada made a joke once. He said, even when it comes to spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, sometimes we wonder what to do next. That's the world we're living in. Prabhupada said we're trying to make the best use of a bad bargain, constantly. Struggling to try to come out of the modes of nature. Trigunya Vishaya Veda, Nishtraigunya Bhavarjana, Nirdvanmo Nitya Satvasta, Niryokak Chema Atmavan. All of us in this material world are trying to vie for supremacy. We all came here to imitate Krishna, and we're all competing with one another, trying to be the supreme, trying to be the master. How's that working out for us? Not very well. And it wasn't working out very well for the demons either, because the demigods either, because they offended their spiritual master, Brihaspati. Indra was there with all of his cohorts, his demigoddesses and demigods and apsaras and dancers and singers, and he was the center, and he got so intoxicated he forgot to notice that his spiritual master had walked in the room. And Brihaspati noticed, and he said, okay, enough is enough. So he walked out. And Indra immediately realized what he had done, because the demigods have bodies in the mode of goodness. And therefore, when they get sometimes momentarily bewildered, they almost always know what to do. They always know to go to Krishna, to Vishnu, to the authority. The other modes of nature, passion and ignorance, when people in those modes get bewildered, they don't know what to do, and they don't go to authority. They try to figure it out themselves. How's that working out for us? So, being in the mode of goodness, even though the modes of passion and ignorance were becoming stronger and they were becoming weaker, they knew well enough to go to Lord Vishnu. So they went to Brahma. They went to through the authority. They went to Brahma. Brahma said, okay, this one's a little above my pay grade, so let's go talk to Vishnu about it. And then Brahma offered these wonderful prayers, and Lord Vishnu appeared. And he knew already, in the prayers, Lord Brahma said that, look, you know everything. I don't need to ask for anything. You already know everything. But here we are in trouble. Please help us out. This is the difference between pure devotional service and mixed devotional service. When we do mixed devotional service, we're always asking for the Lord to help us out. The predominant mentality is not, what can I do for you? It's, what can you do for me, basically. So, Vishnu said, well, it's not your time. The modes have changed, and now you're not strong. And the demons are strong, and as a result, Bali Maharaj just kind of walked right in the gate and took over. He was so powerful from worshipping his spiritual master, Shukracharya, properly. So even though Shukracharya wasn't as high, I guess you could say, as Brihaspati in the hierarchy of things, of the modes, still, because they worshipped their spiritual master dutifully and nicely and properly, they got strength. You know? So Vishnu gave very interesting instruction which we should learn. You know, this Bhagavatam is not just a story to entertain us, not to give us a break from, you know, the suffering that we're going through, although it does that. It does give us a break. It gives us transcendental pleasure. But that's not the purpose of it. The purpose is to expand our consciousness. As the first 9 cantos unfold to the 10th canto, our consciousness becomes expanded and purified, and our knowledge of the Supreme Absolute Truth and His energies and how they're working and what all the relationships are supposed to increase. And then when we come to Krishna's human-like pastimes, we're supposed to be able to be with Krishna properly. Properly meaning with the knowledge of who He is completely, or as much as we can know. We're all limited. He's unlimited. So we can't know Krishna completely. But we can know more or less. As the 12th canto of Bhagavatam says, birds fly in the sky according to their capacity, height-wise and speed-wise. So we're all got these little bodies that can fly different speeds and different heights and explain something about Krishna to our capacity, whatever it is. But the point is to please Krishna. So then he gave a very interesting instruction to them. He said, you are going to be defeated if you try to, you know, attack them or try to defeat them. So I suggest that you make a truce. This is the ultimate conflict resolution going on here. There's a lot of conflict resolution needed, especially in the Kali Yuga, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't take very much for an argument to start. As Prabhupada said, over trifles, we can go to war. What to speak of, you know, argue and whatever. And he said, I'm going to give you more advice, some even better advice. When you go for this truce, you should arranged so that the both of you can do something together. That was the essence of this pastime. Vishnu explaining to the demigods how they should actually work with the demons and do something together. Of course, in order for that to work out, there needed to be some goal at the end, some real, as it turned out, nectar. Like we're all nectar hounds, right? We want the nectar. So anyway, so you should churn the ocean of milk together, and knowing the nature of the demons, whatever they should say, whatever they propose, accept it. And the next instruction was, whatever comes out, you should put all the herbs and all the plants and all the different things in the ocean and churn it and to get the nectar. And there's going to be some other things that come out before the nectar. Don't be disturbed. And don't get attached to anything. Whatever the demons want, go ahead, let them have it. And the goal at the end was, you'll get nectar that you can both drink and become immortal. That's convenient, especially if you're looking to dominate someone else. Shukracharya had this gift. He could bring people back to life. So therefore they were fearless. And in the negotiation, because you have to negotiate when you go into a, reconciliation or a, conflict resolution, it's not all one side. Each side has to compromise. Otherwise there can be no resolution. If there are two parties who want to fight, there's going to be a fight. But if there's one party who doesn't want to fight and refuses to fight, there can't be a fight. And if neither part wants to fight, then you've got a nice situation. We need to learn from this. The Bhagavatam is meant to teach us how to think, how to feel, how to will, and how to act in a way for the ultimate benefit, which is the pleasure of Krishna, or Vishnu. And all of the pastimes of the Bhagavatam lead us to this conclusion. And therefore it is the Paramahansa Purana. It is the Amala Purana. And as Sanatana Goswami just said in the prayer I just read, Prema Varshakshirayate. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. So some of the sections of the Bhagavatam may seem more interesting than others to some people. And the long page after page of genealogical tables sometimes that are read. Sometimes I've seen devotees, they skip over that part. Let's get to a pastime, who cares who begot who, and so on and so forth. But no, every syllable of the Bhagavatam is there for a purpose. Every syllable is meant to take us to Krishna Prema. And in fact, if you're in the proper consciousness, every syllable will bestow upon you Prema. Prema Varshakshirayate Paramananda Pataya. Blissful. It gives bliss to read the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Krishna himself revealing himself. And to get that revelation, you have to hear carefully, and you have to hear one verse to another, one chapter to another, one canto to another, to get the full effect. In 1974, Maharaj may remember this, Srila Prabhupada started to notice the devotees weren't reading his books as much as he would have liked them to. I mean, in those days, everybody came to class. If you didn't, you were like some kind of pariah or something, you know, it's like. So he wrote letters to Hang Suduta and talked to different leaders in Europe, and he mentioned this time and time again, how important it is to read these books, how much he wanted us to read the books, how much time and energy he put in great peril to his own health and his own welfare to produce these books. We should read them every day. We should read them out loud. In Kali Yuga, it's not so easy to read, in case you didn't notice. If you try to read the normal way, just through your eyes, you know, turning pages, the tendency is to go to sleep very easily. The tendency for the mind to wander is very powerful, very strong, because the modes of passion, as we were talking about earlier, the modes of ignorance and passion are very strong, very prominent now in this age. Krishna said to Arjuna, Tat Trinu, Idam Tuite Guyatamam, Prabhakshana Suyave, Jnana Vijnana Sahitam Yajgatma Mokshishe Shubhat. And Tat Trinu, please hear, O Arjuna. It's for your benefit, it's good for you. Sometimes when we're sick, and the doctor gives us medicine to cure us, but it's not very tasty or it's not very palatable to do, or tells us not to do something or to do something that we don't particularly care for, the tendency is just to not do it, or to do it, or to not take the medicine, because it tastes bitter. Classic example is jaundice. You know, when you have jaundice, sugar tastes not just bitter, it tastes so bad that it makes you nauseous, actually, just to put it on the tongue, if it's serious enough case of jaundice. But actually sugar is very sweet. And the Ayurvedic treatment, part of it is you have to continue to take the sugar, even though it makes you feel not so good. So we have to hear the Bhagavatam all the way through, every syllable, every pastime, every bit of it. And interesting, isn't it, how he's encouraging, you know, and he not only does he encourage in this one instance, he encourages all the way through. You know, when the demons and demigods agreed and they picked up the hill and started to carry it, it was so heavy because it was solid gold. It was a huge mountain, solid gold. It was so heavy, even as strong as they were, they couldn't hold it and it smashed them. And they just left it aside. So then, Vishnu appeared again in Garuda, and he picked it up with this one hand. Just picked it up. See, don't worry, everything's okay. Put it on Garuda, got on Garuda, and then went to the ocean of milk. And they're all running after, oh, okay, and they got enthused. Krishna's always enthusing us. In one way or another, he's always enthusing us. But sometimes, if we're in the wrong mode of nature, as stated here, he entered into Vasuki as ignorance, he entered to the demons as passion, he entered to the demigods as goodness. So he'll even, you know, encourage us by, you know, firing up that mode that, you know, we like best. So we have to be careful what we pray for, what we want, what we do. The Vaishnava is not in the modes of nature. Trigunya Vishya Veda, Nistrigunya Bhavarjana. Rise above the three modes of nature, Arjuna said. Become situated in Krishna consciousness. And stop yoga, stop being so intent about our own gain and safety, and become more intent on the gain and safety of the Lord. So then, finally, they got it into the water, the ocean, and then it just sunk to the bottom because it's gold, solid gold. And they were all, again, you know, disanimated. They were bewildered what to do. So then he appeared as Kurma, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. And he got up underneath the mountain and he held it up, as we heard. And just for their pleasure, to give them something to do that will please him, which is the essence of devotional service, he got an itch on his back, so that when they turned it, it scratched the itch and he felt good. And it gave them some extra kind of strength from pleasing the Lord. But that's not enough, because then, you know, the mountain started to go like this. So then Krishna appeared in another form, thousands of arms at the top of the mountain, and held it just right so that churning can be done. So here he's doing everything. And he's always doing everything. Just can't see it. Our acharyas describe that when you take cotton and you make it into thread, you can no longer see the cotton ball. You just see the thread. And when you make the thread into a cloth, you can't see the thread anymore. You just see the cloth. Like that, Krishna is pervading everything. The modes of nature themselves are transformations of his energy. And the only way to get free from this perplexity of this modes of material nature is to actually surrender. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam charanam braja. Whatever mode you're in, whatever dharma you think you have, whatever position you have in human society, you know, you have to surrender to Krishna. It has to come to that. And better do it now, because you may think, oh, well, I'll wait till I get old. Anyway, now that we're old, we can tell you, don't count on it. Don't count on it. So Krishna is so kind. You know, he's giving a lesson to the demigods and demons. And of course, he takes the demigod side. And later on, he fools the demons so they won't get the nectar. And he comes as the most beautiful female form ever. Mohini Murti. I mean, all these incarnations are appearing like one after another for this one pastime, just to sort the thing out between the demons and the demigods. So should we expect that things are going to be easy in this material world? Should we become confused or discouraged at any time in this material world? No matter what? Prabhupada says, no. Please don't do that. And if you accept this, and if you approach him with love and devotion and without argument, and then you can hear, and then by that hearing process, by rapt attention, by proper hearing, what did Jesus say? That those who have ears hear. Well, we've all got, whoops, see, flaps on the side of our heads, right, and holes and little filaments that vibrate so we can connect with the world of sound outside of us. So what does it mean, let those who have ears hear? Shukadev tells us right from the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Nirmat Saranam Satam, Dharma Projito Kaitavo Tra, Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam. Nirmat Saranam means, first of all, kick out cheating religion. Stop doing it for yourself. Do it for Krishna. Whatever you're doing. Yat kadoshi, yat ishnasi, yat jahosi didasiya, yat tapasasi kontiya, tat kadosha manarpanam. And what is the purpose of giving everything you do and everything that you perform and everything that you give away in charity and all the austerities you perform? Is that right? Remember? Prabhupada would check, right? I told you I was too intoxicated, I forgot to check, count the numbers. Anyway. Yeah. So, what the purpose of all these things that we're doing? Vitaraga bhaya krodha. What's the purpose of giving up lust and anger and greed and fear? Envy. Manmayama uhashvitaha. It's to take shelter. It's to take shelter of Krishna and take shelter of those who have taken shelter of Krishna. This is the process. And then bahavo, jnana, tapasa, whatever we know, whatever we're cultivating of knowledge, tapasa, whatever we're doing as austerity. Austerity doesn't mean that you hurt. It doesn't mean you put yourself into pain. Austerity means you give up things that are bad for you and you feel better. And why? Putta. Putta madbhavam. And for what reason? Purification. Putta means purification. Bahavo jnana tapasa. Putta madbhavam agataha. Madbhavam is translated by Prabhupada as love for Krishna. Transcendental love. That's the goal. And by hearing about Krishna again and again and again, all the Bhagavatam all the way through, don't skip around. Don't think, oh, now I don't have to hear this part because I know about this part. Am I too late? Too late? No? What time do I have to stop? Really? It's after 9 already? Well, I gotta say one more thing. It's okay? Srila Prabhupada makes these points very poignantly. At the end of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says this: the author requests every reader to hear these talks with faith and without argument. This is the secret. By studying them in this way, one will be able to understand the confidential truth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anchalila 8:308. Anyone who desires to cross over the ocean of nations, please hear with great faith the life and characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ancha 11:107. And finally, just try to hear these topics with faith, for there is great pleasure even in hearing them. That hearing will destroy all miseries pertaining to the body, mind, and other living entities. And the unhappiness of false arguments as well. False arguments only make us miserable. They don't get the thing. We don't get what we want. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is ever increasingly fresh, as is the Bhagavatam, as is the Bhagavad-Gita. For one who hears it again and again, the heart and ear become pacified. So, Hare Krishna. Don't stop hearing the Bhagavatam. Don't skip around here and there. Read it. It's organized in a way to gradually expand our consciousness and our understanding to the point where we won't make mistakes, and we'll be able to know what to do at the time of death. What was the last instruction of Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit? Remember, Maharaj? The last instruction to Shukadeva, last sentence he spoke in the Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Remember? Anybody? Give up this animalistic tendency to think that you're the body. After all the cantos, it comes to that. Because that's really difficult to do. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. So, we're already late. We'll take comments or questions.
Seems that the key is hearing with faith.
He says it seems that the key is hearing with faith. We have to give him, just the microphone comes your way. No, were you?
Seems that the key for success is hearing with faith. Srimad Bhagavatam here, the holy name. But how to develop that faith? Because the problem is like our lack of faith.
Yes, this is a very good question. Thank you very much. The answer is to hear and to not stop hearing. To continue to hear again and again and again. I will quote Srila Prabhupada on this subject. It is not that because one has once finished the Bhagavad-Gita, he should not hear it again. The word abhikshnam is very important. We should hear again and again. There is no question of stopping. Even if one has read these topics many times, he should go on reading them again and again. Because Bhagavad-Gita, the words spoken by Krishna and spoken by Krishna's devotees about Krishna, are amritam, nectar. The more one drinks this amritam, the more he advances in his eternal life. So, there's another verse in regards to the holy name. Someone may help me with the Sanskrit. It goes, Nama paradam yuktanam, nama mevam yagam aham. And I don't remember the last two lines. Somebody knows? Abhisanti pyuktani. He's like me, Kali Yuga memory. Anyway, I know the English, more or less. It means that the chanting of the holy name is also for offenders. Because the holy name of the Lord will remove offenses if one continues to chant and doesn't stop under any circumstances. So the Bhagavatam, the holy name of the Lord, these are the means and the ends both. They're means to the goal, and they're the goal at the same time. I remember one time in San Francisco, in the early days, somebody was challenging Prabhupada about something, I don't remember what it was. And Srila Prabhupada, tears were coming in from his eyes. Remember this, it was in Frederick Street. And he said, I don't have anything more to offer than this. Just chant the holy name.
It's my only medicine.
It's my only medicine. And if you do it and you don't stop, under any circumstances, of course, we want to follow, we want to understand, we want to give up bad habits, we want to surrender to the authority, all these things. But even if you can't do those things, if you just chant and don't stop chanting, it may take a long time, but it's guaranteed. The holy name of the Lord will remove your offenses. The Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad-Gita will gradually remove your offenses and your argument, the tendency to argue, and give you love for Krishna. That should be at least they should be our goal. We should want it. And by hearing more about Krishna, more and more and more and more, that desire to want it will increase more and more and more. And when it's strong enough, Krishna will say, all right, and then he'll be there for us. Yes.
Just one for my curiosity, I want to ask when it had happened, the truce, and which place, for my curiosity, which era, which yuga this truce was happened, and where? Past time.
It's not important at all. It's not important at all. You know, the devotees who try to pin down dates and things like that and places, they're missing the point. This is why the scholars and the academic approach doesn't work. It doesn't give us understanding, because the scholar in us, the academic scholar in us, the education system of the West particularly, but now even in India, it needs those things in order to have faith. I can't hear you.
Mahabharata has happened in Kurukshetra 5,000 years before. So just for my curiosity, I asked that question.
No, I understand, but you can talk to so many people and they'll tie down dates and places and yugas. It's not exactly clear what yuga or... No, it is. It's in the Chakshush. It's in the Chakshush millennium, the Manu period of Chakshusha, Manu. That's much detail as we have. But don't let the message get weakened by not knowing that. That's my point. I know you don't. I know you don't. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Hare Krishna, I'm late already. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.